Smajli. The 31-year-old enters the arena in confident fashion. The 10-time national championship gold medalist, having taken 7 crowns at light heavyweight, 1 at cruiserweight and 2 at heavyweight. He's competing here in the 92kg heavyweight division tonight. It's his professional debut, his first contest scheduled for further than 3 3-minute rounds. Speaking with him in the week, and his coach there, Mike Summer, just on the edge of shot, he said that he's only interested in this form of professional boxing. He said he knows he's the underdog, but he comes in confidently. Uke Smajli into the black corner.
To the gold corner, representing Italy, Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine.
So up the 3 steps before performing those characteristic plyometric jumps is one of the most explosive 92kg boxers operating in the IBA realm. That is the man who is playing back-to-back world championship silvers in the 2 most recent editions of Belgrade in 2021 and Tashkent, Uzbekistan last year. On each occasion, he took iconic figures to get the better of him. In 2021, it was Julio Cesar the Cruz who bested him in the gold medal bout. And then in 2023, it was Muslim Gadjimagomedov of Russia who took top spot on the podium. He comes to the ring in addition to those global accolades as the 2023 European Games gold medalist, and that gold medal triumph has secured his passage through to the Olympic Games later this summer. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine into the gold corner.
IBA Champions Night at Madrid, presented to you by the president of the IBA, Mr. Madrid, in association with the Royal Spanish Boxing Federation. And this contest is 63 minutes in the heavyweight division. Your officials: judges from Spain, Jose Romero; from the Czech Republic, Stanislav Nakval; and from Italy, Luca Badilonga. Your referee in charge of the action from Estonia will be Jakob Peterson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to meet the boxers. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the black corner, weighing in at 89.8 kilograms. 24 big wins as an amateur, and tonight he makes his IBA professional debut. Presenting to you a Swiss national champion from Frankendorf, Switzerland, by way of Jakova, Kosovo. Please welcome the Wolf, Uke Smajli. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the gold corner, weighing in at 91.3 kilograms. 57 big wins as an amateur, and tonight he also makes his IBA professional debut. Presenting to you a European Games gold medalist and an IBA World Championship silver medalist. He comes to us from Campania, Italy. It's the Hurricane, Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine.
Boxers.
So Mr. Jakob Peterson bringing both boxers together for the final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, keep your head up, no holding, no. Listen to my commands all the time. Take hands, good luck.
Well, what a contest we have in store. It's the first of 2 consecutive heavyweight encounters here on the IBA Champions Night card in Madrid, as Uke Smajli faces off against Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine.
Box.
And we are underway. 6 3-minute rounds in the 92kg heavyweight division between 2 boxers making their IBA Champions Night debuts. The man operating out of the orthodox stance, who's being put on the end of straight punches from the man out of the southpaw stance, is Uke Smajli, the 10-time national champion of Switzerland, weighed in at 89.8 kilograms. Testament to the fact that he's a smaller man, and he is dropped early by a terrific counter shot in the first 30 seconds by Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, one of the favorites for Olympic gold later this summer, and he has set out his stall immediately, finding his timing, finding his range, finding his distance, and out of that southpaw stance, he is picking off the advancing Uke Smajli with consummate ease here in the first minute of this opening round. So Smajli has got to make some adjustments here. The two men have had plenty to say in the lead up to this back and forth on social media. Beautiful three-punch combination. Left, right, left from Mouhiidine. Smajli trying to come forwards, but he's picked off by another right jab from around the kneecap of Mouhiidine. And Smajli looking to cut off the ring now. Does catch up Mouhiidine with a left jab. But Mouhiidine has found his range immediately. Cluster of punches thrown and landed like buckshot from his blazing fists out of that southpaw stance. And so Smajli adopting to work behind a low-held guard, but that's a perilous position to be in. And look at those double jabs, the variety on it. And then the southpaw left ending the follow-up combination from Mouhiidine, who has found his range beautifully in this opening round. So Smajli remaining alert, going in pursuit of his man, but you can see as he takes a corkscrew right from the belt line of Mouhiidine, his defenses really nowhere to be seen with his hands, Uke Smajli, and again a reverse 1-2, southpaw left, followed by a whiplash of a lead right. And again, there's not much head movement coming from Smajli, moving around the boxing ring confidently, but his hands aren't in the on-guard position and the head isn't moving to avoid these quick lead or counter shots from Mouhiidine. Right on cue there, southpaw right, left cross. And Mouhiidine is picking off his man repeatedly to good effect. Smajli electing to come forward behind a low-held guard, launches a speculative right hand, but Mouhiidine, we saw those plyometric jumps, and look at that southpaw left followed by a pinging right jab and then winding up his hands. He's enjoying his work here now, is Mouhiidine. And this is making it an increasingly difficult mission for Uke Smajli. Because again, we saw those plyometric jumps and the legs that Mouhiidine possesses. Oh, fantastic indeed. And he said this is going to be the Abbes show, is what he described it as in the build-up. And he was proving to be as good as his word, because in the first 3 minutes, that was a pretty dominant display at the expense of Uke Smajli. Look at that for a check right hand on the inside, catching the man as he was advancing, doubling up the impact and coiling that right hook. And I'm not sure that Smajli saw it coming, and it's the shots that boxers don't see are the ones which inflict most damage, causing him to touch down. Terrifically picked punch, and then the reverse 1-2, the southpaw left, followed by the darting right, and Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine flowing beautifully over the course of that first 3 minutes. So that perhaps a 10-8 one. It was a 10-8 round in favor of Mouhiidine. 5 rounds remaining, and remember, neither of these men have boxed more than the 3 rounds of IBA tournament format boxing thus far. So into the second round we go, and almost immediately Abbes Mouhiidine finding the range with that southpaw right jab, and there he turned it into a left cross as well. The right jab coming up from his kneecap, those fluorescent luminous socks providing a beacon of light, and then he scores with a left cross followed by a southpaw left and right cross. And again, terrific right then left out of the southpaw stance from Mouhiidine. Sharp shooting successes from the Italian World Championship silver medalist. Well, Smajli, you have to credit the man's commitment, because he said he's going to bring action, and he's proving to be as good as his word. But he's being beaten to the punch on a consistent basis. He's trying to operate from behind a low-held guard. That leaves his chin and body as an open target. And Abbes has found it repeatedly. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, with an Italian mother, Moroccan father. He says even though his name is Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, if you're going to call him something and Mouhiidine, he says he prefers the word Abbes, as he lands another reverse 1-2, southpaw left followed by a right. He says only his mother refers to him as Aziz. As for Uke Smajli, I'll mention the fact that this is also his IBA Champions Night debut. By day, oh, that's a beautiful reverse 1-2 once again, southpaw left followed by a whiplash right out of the southpaw stance from Mouhiidine. But by day, when he's not boxing, Uke Smajli works as a consultant for one of the major firms in Zurich. Terrific right hand to end that 2-shot combination from Abbes. He's an international consultant and auditor for Ernst & Young. Works in Zurich, trains in Basel. At Mike Summer, his coach's Noble Art Gym. Now that's about a 60-minute drive away, as Mouhiidine just again showcasing the fancy footwork up in the boxing ring. So as a consequence, Smajli trains himself for the majority of the week. In contact with Mike Summer, his coach, who was the head coach of the Swiss national team for some 9 years. But he makes it over there on the weekends for sparring. But for the most part, after work, he's consulting and auditing role. High pressure, high powered role as well in a major firm such as that. Well, that's when he does his training, and it's usually of a solo basis. So much so that he's in the middle of a 2-week absence from his work, and he has to coordinate that. Can't take it at his own convenience, because if he's in the middle of an important project, as he lands a left hand, Uke Smajli, his best success of the entire contest, brings about a grin of that black gum shield from Mouhiidine. So just getting closer in the closing stages is the international consultant and auditor Uke Smajli, but that's another round in favor of the Hurricane Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine from Italy. Some of the action. Left jab success from Uke Smajli, but look at the price he paid in terms of that clipping right cross out of the south, right hook out of the southpaw stance from Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine. But you have to credit Uke Smajli remaining committed. That's not the name of the game. The art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. But if you're going to compete in this sport, as we see his best shot of the entire contest, that left hand just before the bell, his feet were in the southpaw stance, so it ended up being a left cross. But biggest success of the contest for Uke Smajli. So into the third round of a 92-kilogram heavyweight contest scheduled for 6 between two men making their IBA Champions Night professional debuts. Uke Smajli reaching for a left jab to the body. Mention the fact that he's in the midst of 2 months leave from his company where he's a consultant. So he's competing here on the IBA Champions Night stage in Madrid, and then he will go with his coach, Michael Summer, to the Olympic qualifier, the final Olympic qualifier in Bangkok. There's a camp taking place prior to that in Hua Hin in Thailand. It's been organized by the German Federation and will be attended by nations such as Switzerland, of course, Cuba, India, Germany, the United States of America, Great Britain, Belgium, Norway, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, all in preparation to attend that final Olympic qualifier, where more than 600 boxers from around the world have entered, as he remains in pursuit of his Olympic dream. No such circuitous route required for Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, because he, by securing that European Games gold medal last year, the continental qualifier, at the first time of asking, the back-to-back World Championship silver medalist, has secured his berth at his first Olympic Games. And Mouhiidine really does epitomize the value of experience. I first came across him at the 2016 World Youth Championships, where I was ringside commentating in St. Petersburg. More success on the inside at short range from Mouhiidine, as Smajli did land his own success as well. Smajli winding up that right hand as he remains in pursuit of his man. Leaping back into range is Mouhiidine. And it's altogether more competitive now. But again, look at that exchange of shots. Right hand from Smajli, but the final word coming from the southpaw backhand of Mouhiidine. But when you look at the record and watch the contest of Mouhiidine, good left hand to the chest from the Italian boxer wearing white trimmed with gold, and then started with the chest with the left hand, ended with the southpaw right upstairs. But he faced off against all the top boys from early in his career. And while there were losses in the early stages, the deeper he's gone into it, at that aforementioned World Youth Championships, it was Richard Torres of the United States. He came away with Olympic silver in Tokyo, but he was bested there at the quarterfinal stage by Torres. Took European under-22 gold at super heavyweight, then dropped down to heavyweight and took European EU gold as he pings Smajli during the course of that exchange to get the better of the trade-off. But it's always a case of progressing, improving. He says he likes to remain unpredictable in the boxing ring. And when you possess legs such as his, which allow you to dart around and change direction on a dime, well, all of those things serving him well in pursuit of that ambition. Another round in the books, less dramatic, but another round in favor of Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine. Smajli continuing to compete.
Incontro veloce, però gambe veloce, mobilità di tronco, però dopo la mobilità di tronco devi andare a segno.
Colpi rapidi e concreti.
Veloce.
Anche quel destro che parte dal basso, non lo vede lui. Dritto ma al metro, lui non lo vede mai.
So calm instruction in that gold corner. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine electing to remain on his feet. Smajli taking a seat, receiving the instructions of Mike Summer. In addition to his 9-year tenure as the head coach of Switzerland, Mike Summer also a brief stint as the head coach of the Luxembourg national boxing team.
Fourth round, cuarto asalto.
And as the timekeeper announces round number 4, this is brand new territory for both of these boxers. Each man making their professional debuts tonight. Always a significant moment in the career of any boxer. Reverse 1-2 from Smajli, countered by a southpaw right from Mouhiidine, and then Mouhiidine landing a right jab, dipping beneath the attempted counter from Smajli. Two men testing the strength of one another on the inside. Smajli first wanted to be a footballer. He said he was playing at a level that wasn't high enough, and look at how Mouhidine's keeping his foot on the outside of the left leg of Smajli. That means he's always offered an angle after he lands that right hand success. See, he's ghosted away again, and it's making it very difficult for Smajli to keep him in his vision, because he possesses such quick reflexes and such fantastic footwork that when he lands his success, he spins around the target and he's on the other side of the ring, and it must make Smajli just as there again, landing the reverse 1-2, the left-right success, and he's on the outside of Smajli. And it must make Smajli feel as though he's surrounded at times, but Smajli, credit to his commitment and concentration, landing left jabs, but then picked off by another whiplash southpaw left from Mouhiidine, but then came back with straight shot successes of his own. But that is evidence of the beautiful ring craft of Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine. He was mentioning the fact that Smajli had ambitions to be a footballer as he touches up. As he's touched up again by the flicking punches from around the belt line and kneecap of Mouhiidine. Left hooks landing on the inside. And Mouhiidine, well, he's engaging with the crowd here now, and I think they're cheering to try and encourage Smajli, as again he spins around the target, landing another right hand. But mentioned Smajli's ambitions to be a footballer. First went to the gym at 15. He and his brother. He's in his part of his team here in Madrid as well. Said he got clipped on the jaw, and his competitive spirit kicked in as Smajli keeps the attack going and has a right-left success at short range near Mouhidine's corner. And I think it's cries of Uke that are reverberating around the Madrid arena as the Madrid fans, the Spanish fans, get behind the underdog. It's not quite a Rocky Apollo Creed moment, but there is a big gap in terms of international experience between the two. Not that Uke Smajli, as he's picked off by another right hand again, as Mouhiidine continues to exacerbate and underline his successes by just disengaging and showboating afterwards, trying to discourage Smajli. But it's been a very measured display indeed here in the 4th round. And again, have to credit Uke Smajli for continuing to compete, having pockets of success, but simply not enough compared to the more consistent success being enjoyed by Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, the European Games gold medalist. But listen to this encouragement coming from the Madrid fans here in the Spanish capital. Cries of Uke must be serving as an elixir for the man over in the black corner. He's being outboxed so far, he's being outscored, but his spirit continues to remain strong, and he's competing in the mix with one of the very best operators in the world. That's this man, Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine.
Segundo
Inside to commentate on both of his runs to the silver medal podium at the World Championships in Belgrade in 2021 and in Tashkent last year. I mentioned it was Julio Cesar La Cruz who outpointed him in the 2021 gold medal bout. He got revenge over La Cruz in Morocco at the Mohammed VI Trophy in Marrakesh last year, and again that's testament to the man's improvement, because when you look at his ledger, that's often the case. Bested by the top operators early, but then processes that information, and with his continual improvement and increasing experience, he is a real strong contender for Olympic gold later this summer. So Uke Smajli hoping to join him on the Olympic stage if he can come through the qualification tournament in Bangkok, Thailand. So having switched from football to the sport of boxing, entered the gym at 15, got tagged on the jaw by a more experienced fighter. His competitive spirit kicked in, and he stayed with it so he could secure his own get back. Had his first contest at 17. Left hand not too far away from Mouhiidine, as the two men exchanging straight shots, as Mouhiidine continuing to glide around the boxing ring. Just looking to goad and gloat in the face of Smajli, not as a sign of disrespect, but to just discourage the man further. But Smajli showing no signs of discouragement, and remaining committed to his task, but there he's put on the end of a two-shot combination. Mentioned Smajli's route into boxing. As for Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, his introduction to boxing came, that's a terrific two-shot combination once again, and then clipping Smajli with a left hand. Smajli responds with a good right hand to the body, and there's a trade-off at mid-range between the two. Mouhiidine's introduction into boxing came after he watched the Michael Mann movie Ali, starring Will Smith as the Rome 1960 Olympic heavyweight champion and three-time heavyweight champion of the world. Said that he was inspired by that movie, and then went to the boxing ring thereafter, and you can see what an explosive, quick-twitch athlete that he is. And he's channeled all of those physical qualities along with the intangibles of determination and his estimable ring IQ into the sport of boxing, and now is one of the best on the scene at 92kg heavyweight. Lost his father to illness, and at that point it was a really low moment for him, but he said the encouragement of his coaches, he lands with another crisp right jab from around his kneecap. Said that the encouragement of his mother and the coaching team surrounding him in that gold corner pulled him through those difficult times, and now he remains determined in his quest to make it onto the Olympic medal rostrum and add some hardware from that global multi-sport extravaganza to the silver medals that he has won on the World Championship stage of the IBA World Championship event. Works as a policeman by day, just as Roberto Camarelli, the Olympic champion, a man who's claimed Olympic medals of every colour, did. The two men exchanging cuffing shots on the inside. It's another round in favour of Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, but Uke Smajli continuing to compete and continually having bursts of success. And that, well, it's not just, not to get too whimsical about it, but Smajli is losing this contest here, but he's continuing to compete, and that's important, because in this sport, this beautiful sport of boxing, a contest where a man is losing comprehensively can be turned around with a single KO shot. I think that is what Uke Smajli is going to have to find here. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine and his corner will be aware of that, and so he will be remaining switched on.
No punching back up ahead.
So, brief touch of gloves to begin the sixth and final round. And for my money, Uke Smajli needs a knockout here. He was dropped in the first round by a beautiful check right hook, and you see Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine using that move of spinning off to his right in counterclockwise fashion out of that southpaw stance around the target to be out of the line of his vision. Just taking a moment to clear his nostrils is Uke Smajli. Bit of a comedic interlude. breathing difficulty if your nose is congested. You can see Smajli breathing through an open mouth, loading up on a right hand. It caught Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine with the crook of his elbow.
Holding. Stop holding. Box.
I'm not sure Mouhiidine appreciated that. He stated his ambition to turn pro after the Paris Olympic Games. Will he be turning pro with the fanfare that comes with an Olympic title? Remains to be seen as, again, Mouhiidine just showcasing his immense punch-picking talent here now. Hands behind his back. A la Roy Jones Jr. against Glenn Kelly. A la Julio Cesar La Cruz from World Series boxing action, where he represented the Cuba Domadores with such distinction. I was commentating when he put his hands behind his back and took a man out with a beautiful right hook. And Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine just giving us a brief cameo of that. Corkscrew right hand followed by a left cross over the top. Check right hook as he spun off the line in counterclockwise fashion. But again, Uke Smajli epitomizing the determination and commitment that every boxer is going to need. And again, he conceded that he was the underdog in the pre-fight back and forth over social media, but he guaranteed action, and he's proven to be as good as his word, getting off the canvas after being decked in the opening round and showing the heart and commitment that will serve him well in his quest to become an Olympian. Again, same move from Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, just touching up his man with a sharp shooting southpaw right jab and then ghosting around him. Right hook landed on the inside during that coming together from Smajli. And Smajli, massive lungfuls of oxygen being taken in through an open mouth, but he steps back into the breach willingly, picked off by a reverse 1-2, left hand to the body, right hand over the top. And Mouhiidine just contracting and expanding the distance as he likes. Still with the energy and explosivity to close the distance on his toes. Sharp shooting 1-2 success before ghosting away out of range once again. 10-second clapper has sounded here at the Madrid arena. Check right hook once more, and it's been a wonderful punch-picking performance of the highest order produced by Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine of Italy. He promised it would be the best show here in the Spanish capital, and he has proved to be as good as his pre-fight talk. Came to the ring in an Italian football scarf, and that's perhaps why he's less than the crowd favorite in this passionate football nation of Spain. But my goodness, he showcased his skills to brilliant effect. But we have to commend the commitment and effort of this man. Just having his mouthpiece removed by his younger brother Urim is Mike Summer, the shaven-headed figure removing his boxing gloves. But despite being decked in the opening round, he didn't turn it in. He remained committed and he competed for the entirety of the 6 3-minute rounds. I think the announcement of the verdict is going to be a mere formality. It's going to be a unanimous point decision win for Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine. But what a contest the two men combined to produce, because the commitment demonstrated by Uke Smajli in a contest where he was put on the periphery of it for large portions, well, that is commendable indeed, because despite being pushed to the margins of this two-man encounter, such was the ability and experience of Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, Uke Smajli never stopped competing. And within that never-give-in attitude, he had his own successes. Remember, we've seen that in the boxing ring. Josh Boatsy, one of the leading light heavyweights in the world in the professional ranks, he was outpointed by Julio Cesar La Cruz at the 2015 World Championships in Doha, Qatar, but had a fleeting moment of success when he put the two-time Olympic champion Julio Cesar La Cruz on the floor. And again, the ability to stay in and endure and continue to compete when things aren't necessarily going your way, I think that is a commendable quality, and Uke Smajli demonstrated that in impeccably tonight. Here's the official verdict that will declare Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine as a unanimous point decision victor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 6 rounds of boxing, we go to your judges' scorecards, where we have a unanimous decision in favor of your winner. In the gold corner,
wonderful to see that respect and sportsmanship between the two heavyweights who have just shared the ring to the tune of 6 3-minute rounds. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine, a unanimous point decision victor, but Uke Smajli, he's one tough hombre indeed. Decked in the first round by a picture-perfect check right hook. But to the victor, the spoiled, and it is Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine who has emerged victorious, taking all of the cards for all 3 of the scoring judges. But Uke Smajli, again, we have to commend his commitment, conditioning, desire and toughness. Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine just enjoying a post-fight interview with the on-site reporter here for local television. But make a note of this man's name if you've not seen him before, because who knows what the reigning world champion, the man who bested him in the gold medal bout, Muslim Gaji Magomedov, whether he will be able to compete at the Olympic Games, being a Russian athlete. And Julio Cesar La Cruz, one of 2 Cubans to qualify for the Olympic Games out of the Pan Am Games. He and Arlen Lopez going for their 3rd Olympic titles. Julio Cesar La Cruz at 92 kilograms alongside Aziz Abbes Mouhiidine. But remember, he got a measure of revenge on him with a 4-1 split decision victory over La Cruz in Morocco. So, this man will be a real strong contender for a place on the podium. Goes in as the Continental King, having claimed European Games gold